Quick question. What comes to mind when you hear the word bear? A grizzly? A polar bear? Maybe a panda? But that's the strange thing about bears. Most people think they're all basically the same animal. Big, furry, and potentially capable of ruining your day. But bears are far more diverse than that. Some spend their lives climbing trees. Some vacuum insects out of the ground. One survives almost entirely on bamboo, and another became so specialized that it turned into the undisputed ruler of the Arctic. Today, we're breaking down every bear species on Earth, from forest climbers and jungle oddities to the most powerful bear ever built. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why there isn't just one type of bear. There are 8 completely different versions of what a bear can be. Let's start with the one you're most likely to meet, the American black bear. Despite the name, black bears aren't always black. Some are brown, some are cinnamon-colored, a few are almost white. And unlike what movies would have you believe, they're not wandering through forests looking for fights. What makes black bears impressive is adaptability. They live in forests, mountains, swamps, even surprisingly close to human neighborhoods. If food exists somewhere, a black bear usually finds a way to make that place work. They're also among the best climbers in the bear family. Young bears can scramble up trees with astonishing speed, escaping dangers that larger bears simply can't. Think of the black bear as the all-rounder. Not the biggest, not the strongest, just remarkably good at being a bear. But if the black bear is the all-arounder, the brown bear is pure power. This is the bear most people imagine when they hear the word grizzly. Massive shoulders, huge claws, enough muscle to make almost any other land predator think twice. Large males can weigh over 800 pounds, or around 360 kilograms, and stand nearly 8 feet, or 2.4 meters tall when upright. Yet what makes brown bears truly impressive isn't their size, it's how quickly they can move. Despite looking like living boulders, they can sprint faster than most horses over short distances, which is deeply unfair. You shouldn't be allowed to weigh nearly half a ton and still outrun things. Brown bears are nature's answer to a simple question. What if we made a bear and then kept adding more bear? But nature wasn't interested in making every bear larger. Sometimes it got creative. Meet the sun bear, the smallest bear on Earth. At first glance, it almost looks unfinished. Its fur is shorter, its body is leaner, and its tongue can stretch nearly 10 inches long enough to raid bee nests and insect colonies hidden deep inside trees. While brown bears dominate through size, sun bears dominate through agility. They're exceptional climbers and spend huge portions of their lives above the forest floor. Imagine shrinking a bear, turning it into an acrobat, and then giving it a tongue designed by a cartoonist. That's a sun bear. The next bear is even stranger, the sloth bear. If the sun bear looks unusual, the sloth bear looks like somebody built a bear entirely from spare parts. Long, shaggy fur, oversized claws, a constantly disheveled appearance, and perhaps the weirdest mouth in the entire bear family. Most bears have a full set of front teeth. The sloth bear doesn't. It evolved a gap specifically so it could suck termites out of nests like a giant vacuum cleaner. Researchers have heard feeding sloth bears from surprisingly long distances. That's how powerful the suction can be. It looks ridiculous, until you remember it weighs hundreds of pounds and carries claws designed for tearing apart termite mounds. Suddenly, the joke becomes a little less funny. And then there's the bear that looks permanently surprised. The spectacled bear, the only bear species native to South America. Its name comes from the pale markings around its eyes that sometimes resemble a pair of glasses. Unlike many of its relatives, the spectacled bear spends a huge amount of time in trees, eating fruit, building platforms, avoiding trouble. It's less interested in acting like a giant predator and more interested in acting like an oversized forest gardener, which makes it one of the most unusual members of the family. But we're not done getting weird, because next comes the most famous bear on Earth, the giant panda. And honestly, pandas make very little sense. Bears are built as opportunistic eaters. They can consume almost anything: fish, meat, berries, roots, whatever works. The panda looked at all those options and chose bamboo almost exclusively, a plant so low in nutrients that pandas spend much of their day eating just to fuel themselves. An adult can consume more than 80 pounds of bamboo daily. That's not a diet, that's a full-time occupation. The panda is proof that evolution doesn't always take the obvious path. Sometimes it takes the weird one. But pandas aren't the only bears that break expectations. Meet the Asiatic black bear, also known as the moon bear, thanks to the pale crescent shape on its chest. Part tree climber, part powerhouse, part bad attitude. These bears are famous for their confidence. Despite being smaller than brown bears, they've been known to stand their ground against predators that most animals would avoid, including tigers. The moon on its chest looks peaceful. The personality often isn't. And finally, we arrive at the bear that feels like the final boss of the entire family, the polar bear. The largest bear alive today, and perhaps the closest thing nature has ever created to a perfectly specialized bear. Everything about it is oversized. The paws, the body, the strength, the sense of smell. It can detect prey hidden beneath snow and ice from astonishing distances. It can swim for hours, sometimes days, across freezing Arctic waters. While other bears evolved for forests, mountains, or jungles, the polar bear evolved for a world that barely seems habitable at all. Ice, wind, darkness, and endless cold. It's not just a bear. It's what happens when evolution decides to build an entire animal around one environment. Which brings us back to our original question. What exactly is a bear? Most people imagine one animal, maybe two. The grizzly, the polar bear, the panda. But the reality is far more interesting. Bears can be climbers, acrobats, vacuum cleaners, tree dwellers, bamboo specialists, Arctic giants. 8 species, 8 completely different designs, all carrying the same family name. And somehow, every one of them found its own way to stand out. If you enjoyed seeing just how many different ways there are to be a bear, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating creatures, extraordinary adaptations, and surprising stories from across the animal kingdom and beyond. And let me know in the comments, which bear surprised you the most?